Alright, so my son Max and I today, come on inside, Mama Dog. Alright, let me stop this. So Max and I are installing my oil cooler on the BMW 1200 GS Adventure today. This is a 2011, and we're starting by removing the fairing with this star screw here, here, and here. We'll come back as soon as I have that off. Alright, so the next screws we need to take off are located here, 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 and down on the nose fairing here. You'll see the fairing has actually come off now, and with a little bit of wiggling you're able to pull it right off. Very nice and dirty in there. This bike just got delivered to me here in Okinawa after sitting around for about 8 months trying to get paperwork right for Japan. So my baby's here and we'll get her put back together. Okay. As you can see, I'm using number T25 on this tool. I honestly don't know what that is. You can obviously get it for a screwdriver. Don't recommend power so you don't strip anything out. So now you can see that the screws are off. The saw fairing, you can see over here on the other side, the windscreen fairing of the Adventure is now removed. The screw is removed here, and the screw is removed here. I'm going to be careful with my clips here. I don't want to lose those. So, I made a mistake. This is not the screw I needed to remove, this was. Looking at the way the fairing is, I think I need to remove this one anyways to pull the fairing separate from the back of the tank guard. But I'll let you know here in a minute. So, as I'm pulling this off here, you'll notice there's a little inside rubber fairing here. Again, this is the 2011 model. I believe the GS Adventures are the same through 13 on this model. So, you can see it's loose now. I believe I'm going to have to do this to the other side right now, and I'll let you know here in a moment. Alright, so we did have to do both sides. The nose cone has been pulled off. You can see it right there. Looks kind of pointy like the new one. Come back over here and pull this piece, pop it off, just like we did the other one. Boom. That center fairing is now off. And we did need to take off all those screws, by the way. Let's slide this out here. And the entire front fairing, you got to be careful of the fuel lines down here when you're bringing it off. So, just be careful, pull off the side, and I'm going to slide it off my son right now. Alright, so you'll see right here, this pin right here goes in there, and the side hits here on the side. So you just kind of need to pull forward. You do not need to remove this fairing here. And then as you can see on the sides, it's just a matter of getting it loose and pulling it off. Alright, so there's the naked look. All pulled off. You got to watch these tabs because they slid off as I pulled it off. This one's still good. Like there's an ambulance. There's the oil cooler. So I'm going to clean off the top, the side. You can see I've already got a ding here. So I'm getting this puppy. I'm going to clean this all off before I put it back together. Then I'm going to install this thing, and I'll show you here in a second. Okay, so this is very similar to TourTex. I got this on Amazon. I actually really like the 1200 GSA on the front. That's the only reason I went with it. It's just the little things, the accents, but it's very similar. It has the dual brackets on back with zip ties that go over it. So what I've done is I've cleaned off the dirt mainly from the bike, but I've also coated the oil cooler itself down here in a little bit of WD-40 before I put this puppy on. So the instructions are very simple, very self-explanatory. Let me get some help over here real quick. Alright, so my boy's here got it. He's holding it. And you can see that it's going to go over the front there. You can push it in a little bit, Max. Push it on towards it. So it's going to go in, and the tabs in the back, the zip ties we've got here, the heat resistant ones, are going to zip tie on back and hold it in place. So this model, I don't know if you can see it, snaps in very nicely here on the edges. Fits perfectly into the oil cooler. I slid it on, it clipped in. I think the zip ties are really just going to be a backup. So we're going to throw those on now and start putting it back together. It's hard for me to see here, but zip ties are a little difficult. It's right here. Here? Underneath, yep, right there, and then it attached on both sides and brought it around the frame. You can work around that, a little difficult to get done. Alright, installation is complete. Just had to do exactly the opposite as I did, put it back on. She's in there nice and snug. That's what we got. You can post questions, although I'm deployed a lot, so I may or may not get back to it quickly. But thanks for watching. Again, not a professional, but just showing you guys how I did this. Enjoy.